Hi everybody, Kirsten here, and today I'm going to be doing a genre talk. I have decided to go ahead and do the contemporary. I didn't really know what genre to choose, so I thought this would be a good all-encompassing genre to talk about today, because it technically isn't even a genre. See, books in the contemporary fiction are made up of stories that could happen to real people in real time. So when the reader is reading a certain contemporary fiction novel, it could even have been written in the 70s or in the 1800s. They usually do take place in the same time as the reader, or like I said before, could have been written before, but have no time stamps to let you know when they were written. They could contain things that are currently or could happen to a regular person. I do read a lot of contemporary books, usually in the romance genre. I do read a lot of new adult, and new adult is most often contemporary fiction. I love contemporary books because they do give you sort of a perspective that you wouldn't normally have as a regular person. So I do love reading books that have people of different cultures or different races and that do different things than I do. So it's fun reading contemporary books and learning things about different kinds of people. I do really enjoy them. The first books that I want to talk about are LGBT contemporary novels. There aren't a lot out there. Majority of the time, LGBT novels are just contemporary because they do deal a lot with coming out. I do like books that don't deal with the coming out just because it was, it's such a jarring experience for a lot of people, and I don't like the fact that the majority of LGBT books do center around the conflict of someone dealing with their sexuality, and so I do like reading books where the sexuality isn't the main focus, it's just part of the book. A couple of those books that I have are The Gravity Between Us by Kristen Zimmer. This one is a little angsty and coming out, but I still really enjoyed it. It's about two best friends falling in love. So the next one is Everything Leads to You by Nina LaCour. I love this book. This is my favorite lesbian contemporary book, and it's also YA. This is so good because never once is the protagonist's sexuality brought up. It's just implied. Like, she's just, hey, I like girls. This is just how it is. And I do love this book. The next book is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. This book I picked up because everyone was talking about it. I don't read a lot of male-on-male romance books, and this is kind of a romance, but it's not. It's really more of a contemporary. It's about two young guys that go and have adventures together. This is like everybody's favorite book, so I'm not surprised that this is going to be in this video, but it's definitely great. I think that he's actually writing a sequel to this, so I'm excited for that. So now I want to talk about a couple of my favorite contemporary authors that really only write contemporary books. The first is going to be Rainbow Rowell, and she writes contemporary in both the YA and adult genres. I'm only using these two books as examples because I have all of them, but I'll be just sitting here talking about Rainbow Rowell the whole time and probably shouldn't do that. She has such cute books, and they are romance, but they're not heavy on the side of romance, which a lot of contemporary novels can be. Attachments is her other adult fiction. This centers around a young man in the 90s who gets hired by a company to read through emails sent back and forth between employees, because that was actually a job someone did once upon a time ago, and he falls in love with a girl through her emails, and it's really cute. The next is Fangirl. This is one of my favorite YA books of all time. It's about a young girl named Kath who goes to college. She is a fan fiction writer. She meets friends that kind of help her bust out of her shell, and it is a coming of age story, and I really enjoyed it. Of course, I have to talk about the queen of YA contemporary, and that is Sarah Dessen. She has a million books, and they all center around the same town. All of the characters are intertwined somehow, so there's fun little Easter eggs in all of her books. And the reason why I think Sarah Dessen does so well with YA contemporary is because her books are more realistic. It isn't just, oh, this girl meets this guy and they fall madly in love and all of that kind of stuff. Hers are that deal with a lot of things that people actually deal with in real life. family, jobs, school, mental health, all of that all goes into her books. Another queen of YA contemporary is Stephanie Perkins. I don't think anyone does contemporary the way Stephanie Perkins does. She doesn't have a lot of books. She only has the 3 books, and she also helps write anthologies. But these books are so good. It's fun reading these books and getting to know her characters, and the way that she writes just kind of sucks you in. And everyone needs to read Anna and the French Kiss. I think that this is a staple for contemporary, and everyone should read it at least once. Another contemporary author is Jennifer E. Smith. These books are just really cute. She writes YA contemporary. My favorite of her books is The Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight. It was the first one of hers I read, and I do think it's the best, but it's also the shortest. It's like the size of a novella, but all of her books do follow different kinds of kids as they navigate something extremely difficult in their life. One of my favorite YA contemporary authors is Katie McGarry. She writes amazing books. She's actually through Harlequin, and that's probably why I like them so much. I got sucked into Harlequin books like crazy when I was in high school. This is her new series, the On the Thunder Road series, and it's about teenagers to be in their parents' motorcycle gang as they get older. And so it's interesting. This one I haven't read yet. It just came out last week, so I'm waiting to read this one until I'm in the mood for it. But her other series follows this group of friends. Each of them are intertwined somehow. Some of them are a part of this friend group and some of them aren't, but they all know each other in some way. And that one was a really dark contemporary that deals with kids that have family loss, drug abuse and addiction, and having to deal with parents that have drug abuse and addiction. And it's such an eye-opening series, and I enjoyed it so much. I read all of the books in a sitting, like an entire weekend. I just like powered through all of them. They were so good. And one of my all-time favorite contemporary authors is Colleen Hoover. I can't talk about this lady enough and how amazing of an author she is. She has so many different books. They're all new adult. They are just... they're so heartbreaking. She has 2 fluffy books. The rest are not fluffy. They're super serious, super heartbreaking. I've cried reading almost every single one of her books, and she actually has a free book on Wattpad right now that I just finished last night. So if you want to read something of hers but aren't sure, just go ahead and go on to Wattpad and you can read her first free book on Wattpad. It's about a young man that goes undercover to bust a college drug ring and ends up falling for the other main protagonist, who is the love interest of the main drug guy. So it was pretty intense and really good, and she does this a really amazing back and forth with her characters that I just can't get enough of. Alright guys, so those are all the books I'm going to be talking about today. Why don't you leave some contemporary books that you like below so we can talk about them a little bit, because I'm always down to read more contemporary books. I do tend to shy away from them because I love fantasy so much, but I have been reading a lot more contemporary lately just because I do read a lot of new adult books and a lot of romance, and most of those are contemporary. But everybody, thank you so much for watching this genre talk, and I will see you next time.